Hey everybody, I'm here for my first quarter flip through. When the year starts and you have to start your new journaling, get a new journaling notebook, and you start to write on the first page. You never think that you're going to fill up your page to this extent, and it's only has been 3 months. When you start a new notebook, a new journal, just start to think about how am I going to decorate it, and you don't think about all that you have to do. Never think about if you're going to complete it. You just go forth head on. For me, the only thing I know I want in my creative journal is that it has to be colorful, it has to be thick, and it has to be kind of messy. As I look through this first quarter, I think for the remaining quarters, I think I could do a lot better in making it a little bit more messy. Well, in here, I have my creative journaling assets that I have for each month. Though you don't have to use it for any for a specific month. It could be used for any month. And if you're looking for some non-traditional prompts, you could pick it up on my Ko-fi page. So as we started here going through, it's all different types of things. I even have my interlude pages, the assets, and even some side quests that I've done for the first 3 months. So let's start from the beginning. This was one of the side quests. So it was Labubu and this paper doll, this movable paper doll. The arms could move, the legs, the head. This Labubu I got on Pinterest, but I created a paper model of it, and that was part of the side quest to do. There's multiple stack. What is this? It's similar to my stackable boxes. This is for my desk. The boxes. And this is for my book, and it's the same design. Like this has ET, so ET is there. You have Jason, and this is the Friends character. You have Phoebe, and then you have some sayings. These interactive elements, while I have this in my book, I change them on a regular, depending how I feel. And each of these elements represents your mind, your body, your body, your spirit, and your alter ego. Also, I did in my side quest was this three-dimensional decoupage, or it's also called paper toll. Here, what you do, you keep layering the same pictures on top of each other to make dimension. So it have particular depth, as you could see. So where the ribbons are, has nothing, but you put one layer on top. This layer, that's the second layer. So first layer, second layer, third layer, fourth layer, and these paws are the fifth layer. So the side quest had 4 activities to do. The paper doll, this, the 3D decoupage, and the paper model. So the first month we did what I call quantifying quirks. We have, if we ever dodge text, our weekly stats, if we did any eye roll throughout the day. This is my energy pie chart. Then we had here we had our spinner. We have 3 layers of names in order for us to determine our persona. So this is a persona generator, and you could swing the hand 3 times in order to get your persona. Or you could do the first 2, and then you could have a qualifier. So this was an interlude page. Since I don't do on a daily basis, I enter in my creative journal when my spidey senses tingle. So if I've been away for too long, then I'll just do something to add because I don't want to have a, too much of a gap between a spread. You could check the interlude or intermission pages in the description. It details how you go about it. Plus, I have the interlude journal guide also on my Ko-fi page if you want to pick that up. Here are some more quirks or my brain bandwidth, the unread tabs, what my weekly personas were. Here is where I'm working on my inventory, and the theme was for creating philosopher's stones for different categories. There are 3 activities. So I filled my philosopher's stone. We have all of these different ones. And I use some alchemical symbols to decorate the page. This is another interlude page. This is just a pullout to explain the different philosopher's stones that I was creating. And here are the different ones. And these represent a different aspect of the philosopher. So there's 3 activities for the philosopher's stone. Now these were really hard to come up because of the different categories. You have to think what can represent your philosopher's stone for, say, legacy and impact, or creativity and expression. It was hard to come about, but it was worth it. Got my mind a working. Another interlude page, and this is one of my favorites for the month because sometimes when you're out and about in the urban landscape, you see someone that just catches your attention, and then you wonder, who is this person? Why do they feel so interesting to me? And on the low, you're surveilling this individual without their knowledge and trying to figure out who they are. So to represent that, I have my binoculars, and I created a case study for that particular individual. And I wrote about who that person was. I just gave the person a particular name. I found a photo online to represent the individual. I put all the different Sherlock Holmes there because I was embodying Sherlock Holmes as I was looking at this individual and trying to figure out who this individual is. So all of this represents a folder that houses the case study. And there's all different sections. You have your protocol, the initial reporting, the person's biography statistics, their psychosocial assessment, their personal relations, and therapeutic procedures. So I came up with all this information. It was fun to do because the individual, when I was thinking about the individual, I believed that person to be these things that I checked off, how this person looked, if the person had any symbols or anything that represented it, him or her. And this one is their relationship and dynamics. And I wrote about this. All of this made up. Don't know the individual, but when I look at that person, this is what came to me. And sometimes I would go back and add more stuff to make it more well-rounded and more in-depth. Now here is the focus prompt. This prompt you do within X amount of days, and this had 4 days to work on this prompt, and it was dealing with how our engagement with individuals have shifted from the person to the phone screen. And I went through each day and documented all that was necessary. Day 1 was instant to capture. Day 2 was displayed attention. Day 3 was the possibility of presence. And day 4 was where you come back after you finish day 1 to 3 and you revisit, review, and reflect. Here I have my vellum emoji. This is another interlude page. This is an abstract. This is starting February's journaling asset. This one is life as a hashtag. And you go through the different categories. This one was hormone therapy, and I did a vellum cover overlay with all the different chemical symbols. And for this one, we were doing hormone therapy. These are the 4 happy hormones. And you jot down how, for each of those, how you go about what you need to do in order to fulfill your dopamine. So we have endorphin, serotonin, and oxytocin. Here is another interlude page. And this side, we have our focus prompt. Here was another interlude page in which I discuss your invisible mentor. So mine is an amalgamation of many different ideas and stuff, and I jotted down what my invisible mentor is, and it's the archivist, and I defined what it was. And these are the different areas in which another rendering of my archivist. These are the different aspects of the archivist and how it goes about to help me become a better individual. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I think. Yeah, 8 different areas in which how the archivist came about, how the archivist helped me, what are reassurances it's giving me, what habits to reflect on, and I put it in these frames and wrote about the different areas. This is origin and formation. This is contrast and reflection. This is curiosity and discovery. And I just did a rendering of what the archivist could look like, whether it's female or if it's male. Now on to the last month. This is March, and we did post check. And in the beginning, I have where do a forecast, and then I do an outcome, and I use these cards, these tarot cards, and on them have all the different areas in which to work with. This piece right here is a junk journal, a junk mail envelope. And with the pulse check, it asks different questions, um, and how the forecast in which you use the tarot cards and the result at the end of the day. And for some of these, I wrote all the information about what I went through for that day or so. I saw this on Pinterest. I just thought it was cute, so I just stuck it in here. This is my temporal inquiry, and it asks, and it dictates if you experience any of these throughout a day. And these are what I experienced. Then we have our what if scenarios. These are alternative proposals of what reality could be. Certain things you see in the world, and you possibly have a different view or take on it, or what it could be. Like the what if. What if this happened? How would that look? So this is the speculative hypothesis, and it has a rating at the bottom, believability, likelihood, and humor, and another analysis right here. And I put it on a sliding scale. This is perceptual reinterpretation, and then you have a thought experience, and they're all whatever you thought could be an alternative proposal or alternative reality. This is a vellum printout. Then we have the dashboards for the pulse check. You could create an interactive one where the slides move up and down, or you could just have it just like this, and you fill in the channel to what your level is for the particular mental dashboard. So they'll ask you your warning stage, the volume, your fuel level, how much you've drained, and what direction are you in. Then we have our mood states that goes with the mental dashboard, and our weather report, basically how you're feeling internally. And you would put down how you were feeling that particular day. And these are the mini trackers that track you on a weekly basis and to see what is occurring in your life. This tracker in particular tracks, this one tracks your random occurrences such as luck, coincidence, aha moments. And whatever I've experienced, I write about it. Here. The thing is with all of these, when you're doing your tracking, each color represents a particular level of that occurrence. So why you see different colors here is different levels. Same thing here. Another week in pixels, and I wrote about it. Now here are the micro surveys that I have for March. And this micro survey is basically the focus prompt. So you do a survey every day. This is day one. This is the week, the last week of the month. This is day two. This is day three, four, day five. This focus prompt was a 6-day activity because the last day is where you revisit, review, and reflect. And as you see here, look at this. These little stickers, you'll never guess what they are. Those are nail stickers, fingernail stickers that I use in my journal. One thing about the random occurrences is that this mini tracker, you're not going to experience everything on the tracker, but usually you do have something that happens to you sometime during your day. In each kit, there are 3 different types of mini trackers. You have your dailies, that's like your laundry and stuff like that. You have your well-being, that's like weather, reading, mood, mindfulness, and the third one is your random occurrences. Well, that was a flip through. I couldn't go through all in detail because some of it is private, you know. But if you want, the journaling assets are available on my Ko-fi page, so you could go pick it up and experience those things for yourself. These that I did, my archivist, this was an AI generation that I created. This was one of my favorites to do, the side quest. In May, we will be having another side quest. So I hope you check that out. So that is all, and I'll see you on the flip side.